You just tuned in to Up for Discussion. How about now, Rob? I bet we've got audio now.
Gee. Now.
That's a better shot.
Yeah, I can live. I can live with all of it.
Somehow our audio got jumped over to our Black Magic. But now we're back. Do we have sound now?
Check 1, 2. Hello, everybody.
Microphone check. Can we get somebody to give us a thumbs up? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Can you check it on your phone?
Rob says finally. All right.
All right.
Here's the thing. Periodically, we lose power in this place because I don't know. I don't know if we're off, the Wayne White grid or
electronics cause. We would assume the power flickered last night or something, probably.
Yeah,
because the internet was funky this morning.
Yeah, the internet didn't work. Had to reboot the computer. Whenever power goes out here, it resets everything on my settings, and therefore, no
you
audio.
Go all the way through them.
Yeah, and the audio was whack. So, but we're
here now. Let's go.
The audio was whack, but we are back. So, wiki. Well, so today I've got driving it hard.
Driving it hard. To drive or not to drive?
That is the question.
To drone or not to drone?
Those are all questions that we've got. Questions that I feel
rifle or not to rifle. All these things.
All these things I feel like are valid discussion points. So they are things that we're going to be talking about this morning. We've got roughly 45 minutes to talk about it.
Let's hammer it.
All right, Lathan, I'm going to let you roll initially.
We asked the question, we were talking the other day, that it started by talking about all the drone situation with drone recovery and stuff like that.
Yeah, which I'm an advocate for.
Well, I think it's semi-foolish to tell people they can't look for their deer wounded, mortally wounded,
in any way possible.
Yeah. With a drone.
Now,
I know that I'm assuming, I don't know, I'm assuming that the reasoning behind not letting people do it would be because people abuse things, and their thoughts are probably that people are going to use that drone to just initially find a big deer bedded or a deer population somewhere, and like, now we can go. The whole reason you can't fly in Alaska, you can't hunt the same day you fly because it gives you an advantage to see where all the animals are, and you could just land and go to them.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that is the reasoning, because there's no other logic reason to say, no, you can't find that deer. We're just going to let him rot in the woods.
It makes more sense to me for them to imply that, or to impose that, to where it's like, you can fly a drone, but you can't hunt the same day you fly a drone.
Sure. There you go.
Yeah.
That would make sense that way. And anybody that has shot a deer that they are struggling to find would probably be like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If I can fly my drone all over my property today and find that deer in a thicket, and he's down. And I even say if he's mortally wounded, and not done, that you have the opportunity to finish him, because that's just right.
Yeah.
Opposed to, well, let's let him lay there for 24 hours in his death wallow.
Yeah.
Now, but I guess maybe there's so many.
So how did that turn into drives?
That turned into drives because, I said, I think we were talking about, I don't know if you said or I said, I don't want to take credit, but I was like, well, it really don't make sense then, because another aspect is they don't want you harassing and using
the wildlife.
They don't want you using a drone to hunt with.
Yeah.
So I was like, but they let people run through the woods, bang pots and holler and scream and push them all to the corner or down a fence road to shooters.
Yeah. So it doesn't make sense that would be their
It
argument.
seems pretty harassing. And I'm not saying this by any means that I want the state to pass some law that we can't push deer, because some of the greatest memories of my life was late gun seasons, was setting up deer
Doing some
pushes and
drives.
drives. It was
Yeah.
fun. So I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying the logic behind the two. To say,
that's
like,
the thing.
if you are using the excuse, well, that's harassing the game, we don't want you doing that.
Yeah.
Pretty sure hunting in general is harassing the game. I'm trying to drain their blood out of their body, with an arrow. That's pretty harassing.
I think that's my struggle with most of it is the laws that the state creates, they never justify why. Would you agree with that? Like, there's very few of the laws that we have that it's like, here's the justification behind that. We're trying to maintain some sort of sense of order outside, or, like there's never really, this is why we did this law.
Right.
So it leaves the people, okay, well, if this is the case, we can't use drones. Why?
Because you have flown drones and know how to, and so you've probably read up to some degree. I'm not versed in the law. What's the law? I mean, you don't have to verbatim quote the language of the law, but
they just don't allow you for the purposes of hunting deer, and that in and of itself gives a gray area as well, because there's been people that have argued, well, we're not hunting the deer, we're trying to recover the deer. That's a separate thing entirely. The deer has already been hunted, it's already been shot. Right. Now we're trying to recover. And the DNR's argument is the hunt is not over when the deer is shot. That's a continuation of it. So,
which there's validity to say that. I don't fully disagree, because I would call that part of the hunt, recovering your deer. But that's sketchy too, because tonight when I sit down and make a big deer breakfast sausage patty and eat it, that's part of the hunt. You know what I mean? I'm in my living room. I may have some deer for supper tonight.
Well, for you it is, but not for everybody, probably. You know what I mean?
Right. But I'm just saying that's a rough way to swing the door, because you're like, that swings so wide, you could say, well, taking it to the processing place, you're still hunting it, you're still part of the hunt.
Yeah.
But anyhow, or butchering or whatever, if you do it yourself, my thing is, I do 100% disagree with the state of Illinois on that.
Rob asked the question, do you think they can fly over private adjoining property? And Rob, the answer to that is yes. Because when you own a property, you do not own the airspace. So it's the same reason why planes can fly over your house and nobody says anything.
Right.
You can fly any drone over a private property. And I understand that there's a little bit of weirdness there, but yeah, you definitely can. Legally, you can.
Well, even with that, I think it makes sense, because obviously we can't start slicing out, property lines in the sky.
Sure.
That would cause major problems.
Well,
if your deer
own
goes
the oil below my ground,
right,
and in the same way I don't own the oil below it. Like, I'm a surface owner.
Yeah.
So,
but what I'm saying is, to me, it's just logic to say, well, I flew my drone over your property. I found my deer. It's dead. Obviously dead. Here's the video. I took video of it. You could show it to the landowner, and the landowner obviously then has to make his decision. Well, yeah, let's go get it. Or no. Then he's either being a jerk or he's being a good neighbor.
Well, and
that's in his court.
There's even been court cases about this, because there's been scenarios where guys have flown over property and had their drone shot out of the sky. And ultimately, the court sides with the drone, the guy that was flying the drone, and makes that
Because-
person pay for the
Yeah.
property. Yeah. Because they don't own the sky.
Because they
So,
shot into the sky.
Yeah.
But, well, anyway, that turned into our conversation being like, well, if, you know, if they let you, it's kind of look at it from this side. If they let you push deer to hunters, different parts of the country call it pushing, driving, whatever, then I mean, it's almost like, well, why wouldn't you? I said, well, why, if you're going to let somebody walk deer, why wouldn't you let them use a drone to push them? You know, I mean, and I don't know that I'm for that.
Well, that's
but
where
the
it gets
logic
weird.
of things is like, you're going to let somebody walk through the woods in a line, 5 guys beating pots and hollering, blowing whistles to manipulate all the deer to the other end of the property.
So
and have
here's where
shooters
there's
down there.
overlap, though, because there's overlap in what Rob's asking and what you're saying, because guys can do that on ground that they have permission to,
Right.
whereas you can
Yeah.
fly a drone over your
Anywhere.
neighbor's ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, here's the question.
So it would be, it would be obviously wrong to fly over the neighbor's property, say their set aside field where a bunch of deer are bedded, and get those deer up with the drone. And you could probably manipulate them with the drone to, you know, it's like what I said. If you get on the north side of the deer with the drone and fly down to them, the deer are probably going to want to go south. You know,
I can tell you this, and I'm not telling you this because I've tried to manipulate the deer with the drone, but I've seen how they react to drones.
right.
If you're flying that drone in a manner that is not going after them,
Right.
you are not going to
Manipulate them.
them.
Right. If you're up there 120 plus,
If you're over the trees,
yeah,
they are not paying attention to you. Like,
Which-
they may know that you're there, but they're not running from you.
yeah, which is where you want to be looking for a wounded or dead animal.
Sure. Like, you're wanting to see the landscape as a whole,
Yeah.
and find, you know, if you're doing it with a thermal, you're looking for hot spots.
Right.
And then, like, you will see that hot spot move a little bit. You know,
Mhm.
you can tell a dead deer versus
Yeah.
a
Bedded
live one.
or an up and
Yeah.
moving deer. Yeah.
So,
I,
but as far as manipulating them for the purpose of driving it, it would be very difficult.
hard to do.
Yeah.
Obviously it'd be way easier 4 or 5 guys grid off of woods and walk across it and
Yes.
push them. Yeah.
So I have a hard time thinking the validity of that argument is what it is.
Right. And I agree.
I think it's more about finding the deer and pursuing that deer, because you could do that. You could fly over a section and be like, hey, there's a big one in that field. Let's go after him.
Oh yeah. You could watch wherever he goes.
Sure.
You could just stay up there 200 feet and
Yeah.
keep your camera locked on him. And I mean, as long as you got battery in your drone, you just follow where he goes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Another thing that I would have questions about is what constitutes the hunt, because we've had multiple people over the years fly drones in regards to videoing a hunt. Like, you can walk in.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
you've seen
and have-
that several years ago begin to happen big time.
There's
On
all
every
sorts of
TV show
guys.
had a guy walking to his food plot from 150 feet in the air getting an aerial shot of
Yes.
you know,
So is that illegal? Is the walk-in illegal? Like,
because that's part of the hunt. Yeah.
there needs to be better clarification on why and what's the purpose. And if we have that, I think it's easier for guys like us that are shop owners to be like, this is the reason why they're doing that. Like, and it becomes more justifiable to the hunter.
So when and some states let people,
Sure.
there's drone recovery businesses now.
Yeah, like
you know, where-
Ohio, good grief, they'll haul them out for you.
Yeah.
I mean,
it makes sense.
I
It makes
think it
perfectly good
is a good
sense.
thing.
I mean, I understand it's a whole different realm of technology, but hunting has always progressed and allowed new technology. I mean, just we started with flintlocks, and now they're using centerfire rifles and telescopic sights, and the bows the same way. They started with long bows and recurves, and now you have compounds that are efficient with.
I would
with
argue this:
adjust-
what's more hard on a deer, the range finding scope on a crossbow that can shoot out to 115 yards, or a drone that a guy's going to take out.
Well, the finding part, if you're just talking about the finding part of a wounded deer, that I don't even think those two are in the same argument.
They're really not.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, but you're saying from a technology standpoint,
Sure. If technology is the problem,
like
and
if
they're
you're trying to be like, let's keep it as fair as we can for the game, I guess. I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. And when I say that phrase, I don't even believe that way either. I'm like, they're animals,
Yeah.
I mean, respect them, take care of them. We want the resource to remain. So I'm down for the right laws to be in motion or implemented, but at the same time, I'm not going to put them in a class of like, they're people or something. Respect them in a way that we don't want them to ever be totally gone.
Sure.
We don't want the Buffalo incident to happen all over again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I agree with a lot of the laws, but and I'm not against. We said driving. What'd you call it? Driving hard. I'm not against driving deer. I think it's if it's done right and people are safe. I mean, obviously if they're chasing them on 4-wheelers and stuff like that, I'm not really maybe okay with that. But if you're just strategically putting a few setters and getting the wind right, and more than anything, you don't have to beat pots and pans. I know there's old video of them doing that. You just walk back and forth and let every deer smell you. That's the best way to do it.
That is the best way to do it. Then
the
they
walkers
move naturally
to move slow and move back and forth and basically just let their scent, 2 or 3 of them blow through a bedding, and the deer get up and move, towards on a more natural, like, I'm just going to leave this area instead of running, 45 miles an hour with their head down. But so I'm not against all that, but I mean,
you would be for drones then?
I would be for using drones 100% to find and recover animals. I don't know if I'd be for like using it as a tool to find where they're bedded, or where he's moving, and just follow him until he gets in a vulnerable place and you can head him off or whatever.
I'm on board with all that.
I mean, gosh, I don't know if I'd be against it if it was on your personal property, flying over it and being like, oh, they're all on the south today. But that's exactly, I just basically said one thing and said the other thing at the same time.
Yeah.
I understand you probably can't do that, because I wouldn't be for like going out there and just finding the biggest one in a 4-mile section and following him until I could get ahead of him. But like, I have that
private property ownership.
Yeah, I have that
interesting.
I have that thought of like, if that's your 80 acres.
Yeah, but you can't murder on your 80 acres. So there's a sense of the law still applies on your private property.
Sure.
And
we agree with that one.
Sure. But that's where it gets really interesting. I saw a video the other day where some game wardens came on some property. The guy was fired up and upset about it. Felt like they were harassing him.
Right.
Because they'd already been to his house, and now they were walking his property. He had guys that had come in. They were only there for 3 days for a gun season. And these guys were walking his property, trying to find infractions. And he's like, that's harassment.
Yeah.
Like, that's not right. I understand where he's coming from.
Mm-hmm. Was there like somebody called in and said he's doing something wrong or something? Because I mean that changes things a little.
There initially was.
Yeah.
Not that he was doing something wrong. I think someone had called in saying that he have flags where the state that it was in, he didn't have flags on, so they weren't marked in orange. So they had come to his house, asked him specifically, "Do you have flags, or do you own this blind over here?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, the blind that they pointed at was on his neighbor's ground. He's like, "No, I don't own that blind." So they were like, "Oh, okay," and they left. Well, then they just went down the road, parked next to it, and walked through his property
looking for his blinds.
Well, he had people come in that were out-of-staters that were only there for the purpose of hunting 3 days. And he's like, "You've messed up their hunt. You literally walked my property and pushed deer off of my property."
Yeah, and if you can walk every deer off a 40-acre property or an 80-acre property, and you're looking at 24 hours.
Conversation several times. There's only one 2025.
Yeah, that's true.
And for a guy that only hunts 3 days, that's not cool.
Yeah, I've always said that. I had football coaches like, "We can hunt the rest of your life, can we?" Like, Jesus could return, and there won't be a 2026 November, or there won't be a 2026 elk hunt.
So it's kind of finding.
And I know that's extreme, but there's all kinds of things in life that cause people not to get to go the next season.
It's kind of finding that middle ground.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I think Illinois is upside down for not letting you recover a drone,
with a drone,
or recover a deer with a drone.
Yeah,
whether it's nighttime, daytime, middle of the whatever time.
I agree on that.
That's upside down, because you don't preach to me ethics, and we need to do every way we can do to do it right and shoot that animal. We owe it. I don't owe anything to that animal, really, the way I look at it, other than, I don't want him to suffer. Obviously, I want to take care of them as a resource because I enjoy hunting them and I enjoy eating them and all that stuff, but I don't owe him nothing. You know what I mean? But they preach that stuff. You hear that type of language.
Sure.
Oh, we owe it to the deer you hear hunters say that all the time. We owe it to them to, get them killed quick. And I want to do that. Nobody wants to shoot a big buck and be like, "Well, we're 10 hours into this. We can't find him." Yeah. Everybody loves it when they shoot him and they're like, "I seen him go down. It's over." That's the best feeling in the world. One of the top feelings in the world, when you shoot a big deer and you get to see him go down. You knew you made a good shot and everything came together. So, but don't preach that to me. And I'm sure the state would take that stance. I'm sure the DNR would be like, "We need to be ethical, good hunters." And then they're going to back a law that says I can't use every means possible to find the deer that is hit. I'm going to let him bloat, split, rot, and coyotes and possums eat him.
Yeah. Do you think we've gotten to where we glorify the animal?
Oh, sure. I think people do. I'm sure I probably have to some degree, more than I probably should. I mean, they're not in the same class as humans. Respect them, take care of them, kill them, and eat them. You know what I mean? I'm not, I don't want anybody to listen to this and be like, "Well, he's unethical." I always say, who wrote the book? If you're starving, ethics goes out the...
Sure.
Yeah,
it always
has. You shouldn't shoot 50 yards at a deer. If my family's starving, I'll shoot 100 yards if I thought I could get him.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I understand what people are saying when they talk that language, but it almost crosses sometimes into this place of like...
Well, that's what I'm getting at, because I saw an episode on the Sportsman's Channel one time where a guy was like, "Thank God for this animal. It's all right. Go to the light."
Yeah.
I mean, he was like taking it way beyond the level of what it needed to be taken. And I was like, that is not really all right.
I mean, I respect them.
Sure.
I think I respect them.
Well, we should.
And I did see a video. I seen a meme the other day that I was like, I get that. A guy he'd killed a big deer and he walked up and he, you kneel down to him and you grab their antler and you always hit them and rub your hand down that big, huge neck that they got that we're always impressed by. And he's like, it's like when it hits me that I'm the first human to ever touch him. I was like, I could kind of get that.
Yeah.
I can understand that. There's a reason we get, our heartbeats in our head when they're coming in and we're excited and shaking. There's a reason for that. And there's a reason for all the joy that you feel when you walk up to a good deer or any deer or doe that my first one's one of my most memorable is just a doe.
Yeah.
That feeling you have. So I get that, but I don't get what you were talking about. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I don't get a lot of things that people do, but that's all right because people probably don't get me either. But I just think if you stay on topic, I think I don't have a problem with driving and pushing deer. I don't have a problem with looking for and recovering a deer with a drone. I think it's foolish. I'd use that word. I'd look at the DNR, Illinois, whoever come up with that and be like, that's foolish. And they can say, well, we don't want people to abuse it. Well, then take everybody's trucks away.
Yeah.
It's the same thing because people abuse their truck or automobile. They hunt out automobiles at night.
Yeah.
Happens all the time. Take the automobiles away. Make the sun quit going down. You know what I mean? Or say, well, you can't leave your house during hunting season at night because people abuse and hunt at night.
Yeah.
So everybody, as soon as the sun goes down, get in your house. I mean, that's ludicrous, right? I think it's just as ludicrous to say, well, you got a drone that's got thermal on it. You can't find your deer. Well, you can't look for him. Because somebody might use it to find a deer to go hunt. Okay.
Yeah.
You
bring up another interesting topic though, in regards to thermals, because if you're going to use a thermal on a drone, at what point does a thermal become a problem? If a guy's putting a thermal on
his crossbow.
Yeah.
Oh, what's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know of anybody particularly right offhand that I could say I know has done that, but I'm sure that's happening.
Yeah.
Because that opens up a whole new can of worms for somebody that wants to not abide.
Yeah. It does, but at the same time, as somebody who's coyote hunted, I can tell you, you'd be foolish to shoot a buck with a thermal. And the reason why I say that is they don't carry a thermal heat signature
in their antlers.
No.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you couldn't maybe tell that it's a buck.
You can see
till they get to a certain place.
Yeah, there's times when you're like, I can tell they've got something on their head.
Yeah.
But
somebody that's in that frame of mind, they don't care. They just know, hey, that looks like a pretty good one. Shoot him with a crossbow at night. I'm a silent
assassin.
Yeah, silent rogue night assassin. They'll walk up to it, and if it's not the deer they want to somehow get false glory for by telling their buddies they killed it that next morning out of their deer stand.
I can get that.
They would just walk away from it.
Yeah.
Or snap its horns off and make rattling horns out of it or something. I mean,
well,
I mean, that's because the person that's already in that frame of mind that's doing that, they don't care,
I guess what I'm suggesting is there needs to be more clarification even on thermal.
Sure. And it's the same thought as well, if people abuse things.
Yeah.
So if you're not letting somebody look for their deer with a drone because they're afraid they're going to abuse the drone in another way, then we need to cut all the thermal scopes in two. Buy back,
Yeah.
and I'm not for that.
Yeah.
I'm not at all. I think we should have thermal scopes if we want them. We should have AR-15s if we want them. If I want a dadgum AR-15 platform, 50 BMG that shoots 2,500 yards, I should have that if I want that because I'm free. Right?
Well, You just think you're free.
Well, I act free, you know, and we are free. We have a lot of freedom, but there are some liberties that obviously are
in our state are
more
restricted.
so that are encroached upon, or if that's the right word, I don't
encroached.
know. Encroached.
Yeah.
Encrouched. Squatted on. Somebody's sitting on them. But yeah. So I mean, it turned more into a drone conversation, but it's probably one that needs to be had more, because the state needs to understand that's kind of stupidity. If you ask me, it's kind of stupidity to be like, you can't use that resource to find your deer.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that you ought to be able to use it.
Yeah.
Like, there is a weird situation though in regards to the thermal drone, because they need to clarify in the law, if that were the case, you can use thermals for the purpose of recovery.
You mean like a handheld walking thermal?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, any thermal that isn't attached to a weapon,
right?
To me, what would the purpose serve other than being better in the hunting woods?
Yeah, because you can walk your woods and look for hot spots that you would never see.
Sure.
You know, so yeah, if they're going to let you use thermals on a drone to find a deer, they should let you use a monocle or a handheld, just walk around. I mean, you could walk all over, and if you find a hot spot that's not moving, you can walk potentially right up to your deer.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, there he is. You know?
Again, it's foolish just to not.
I mean, I just heard a story last night. Some guys found a 170 some inch deer just down the road from my house, and they're almost sure somebody shot it. That was shot back in the first youth gun season.
Oh, okay.
By youth, and they couldn't find it. Well, come to find out, it was only 200 yards from where they shot it. But you know how it is. I mean, they go down in the right spot, and you can walk. And people's like, well, you should have looked hard. Who knows? They may have had 6, 7 guys scouring that. I'm telling you, I've been in those situations where you're like, oh my lands. Yeah. You remember when I shot that doe? It was one of my first longer shots, and we knew we hit it because we had it on video, and we couldn't find her.
Not right offhand.
We're on the back edge, late season of Philip Reds.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate to use names, but
we had permission.
Yeah, we had permission to be there back in those days. And I shot a doe. Remember when I shot over the tree limbs? Dropped it behind the tree limbs.
Oh, yes. Yep.
You remember when we got down? We could not find her.
Yeah.
I mean, we had the blood trail and it was just gone.
Yeah.
And we could not find her and not find her. I mean, I remember like 20 minutes of like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
But it was a really thick spot, honeysuckle. That's when I remember I was like, we found her, and I ran and just
over it.
I jumped over the treetop, did like a barrel roll over the treetop and said, because we was filming back then, and I was like, well, we've been spending 25 minutes here trying to find this doe, and the whole time we were standing 6 yards from her.
Yeah.
And just could not walk in circles, but we were in a place. Well, I mean, it's the same way all the time, where if a person was like, let's fly a drone over it. We've looked, we can't find, maybe it was not the hit we thought. If we would have gave up and went and got a drone, we would have been like, oh my lands, we're standing 8 yards from her laying there.
Or if you had a monocular.
Yeah, that you could just go like that, and it would pick up the heat signature in the honeysuckle laying next to you, and you could look over the top and be like, oh, well, there she is.
Yeah.
But how many times does that happen? Happens all the time.
Yeah.
When if they could look with a drone or a thermal, they'd find it.
Yep, I agree.
So who do we have to send this to that would hear it and realize that we're right and they're wrong, and they would change the law?
Rodney says, when we figure out what makes sense in Illinois, we will all be rich. Well,
that may be.
I'd say it makes sense to move out of Illinois. Yeah. And you might be rich because of it.
Yeah. I hear people say that. I have no desire to leave.
I don't either, but
because
But they're taxing
part of
us
mine
out
is
of
I
the.
feel like I'm supposed to be here. So, you know, if the Lord told me tomorrow to pack it up and go to Timbuktu somewhere, I'd be like, well, all right,
Where
let's-
is Timbuktu?
It's right next to Kalamazoo, isn't it? I think Kalamazoo's a real place, isn't it?
Kalamazoo is. It's in
Yeah.
Mississippi, I believe.
There's Timbuktu and Kalamazoo and several other names. That
Whatchamacallit.
Yeah. That's a candy bar.
Yeah. All right. So 8:50. Anything you want to tell the folks before we leave out? I'm putting the camera on you.
Well, it's the end of what do they got? One more day of gun season.
That's it.
Yeah. It's cold out there.
And then all the real hunters come out.
Yeah. Or get ready to all these bow hunters that switch to
I just mean because the cold.
from the rut hunting to the finding the honey hole food source somewhere.
Yep, that's right.
And laying and trying to figure out how to hunt that spot and let 15 to 20 does pass you and not bust you for the buck to come in 15 minutes later. That's a tough thing.
That's right.
That's the biggest beef I have with late season. So now, anyway, I don't have anything. Have a wonderful day. Come in and see us. We're open till 1 o'clock today. Are we still open till 1? Or is that
We
turned back?
are open until 1.
1 o'clock today. It's
Yep.
Saturday.
Hours are about to change. And yeah, we are nearing we're out of the busy season.
Yeah.
So hours are about to change as a result. And got some things that are definitely in the works. And you guys will be finding out about that before too long. So, but come see us. Also, next week, if you guys get a chance, put it on your calendar. Next week, we are measuring all the largest deer for the buck contest.
Oh, that'd be an interesting.
Yep, it's on Saturday.
Do you have a designated person?
We have Douglas Doty, and we also have Clint Harvey.
There you go.
And both of those guys are going to be coming in, and they're going to be working together to measure the bucks that.
So if they get different numbers, are we just arm wrestling for it? Or to
No,
decide?
they're going to work together
Okay.
to get the number.
Okay.
So they.
Doug's got short, stubby arm, man. I bet he's tough arm wrestling.
I bet he would be. Yeah. So they're going to be doing that. They'll be doing that kind of over in the mid area on the floor.
Is that Saturday?
Saturday morning,
That'd be neat.
9
That'd be
a.m.
neat.
We've got 4 deer that were entered, or 4 deer that we ultimately deemed. We were going to do 5, but one of them is at a taxidermist in Iowa. So getting him back was out of the question. And
Right.
the other 4 are within 28 inches of each other. Is that right? No, 18 inches of each other. And 18 inches for a guy that doesn't know, how to measure.
Right. Clint's been like official, hadn't he?
Yeah.
So I mean, you got good wisdom there. It's not like we just got Lathan out there pulling a Stanley Fat Max trying to, So I mean, they're going to do it legit.
Half these people don't know what a Fat Max is.
Well,
That's
it's
funny.
a Stanley tape measure that would be hard to measure deer with, but it's great for carpenters. But anyway, so it'll be legit, and we'll get actual good numbers.
It sounds like that thing's about to take off over here.
Yeah, the heater is striving this morning. But yeah, because I mean, you people measure deer, and there might be a couple of them that's like, oh, that's not what I thought it was, or it got bigger.
Sure.
Could get bigger, because I measured roughly on that one time, and I think Doug got real legit on it and got 4 or 5 inches more than I got. Of course, I was doing it probably with the Stanley Fat Max.
Oh, man.
All right, say goodbye and let's go open this
All
store
right.
up.
You guys have a good one. Come see us, and come see us next Saturday. It'll be fun. There's going to be guys running around with big antlers. We've got 2 that are over 200, one that's right at 200, and then one that is a 190 that is a straight clean 10. And so it'll be cool just to have those deer in the shop.
Yes.
So
I mean, you get to see. If you get to see pictures, it's neat to look at pictures, but seeing them in person is a whole.
Looky, no touchy.
Yeah, no touch, just look.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. You guys have a good one this morning, and we will catch you guys later here at Up for Discussion. Bye-bye.